Hey folks, I'm Coach Mike. This is the EMDEM Show, courtesy of MDM Canada Multimedia Group. This is episode, I don't know exactly what the episode is. It could be 457, it could be 458. We're in the 450 somewhere. So happy Remembrance Day. Even though it's not a happy day, we're here to remember the people that have gone before us and sacrificed their lives so we can actually have freedom. But I don't really know what's going on these days with freedom because we have, how do I go about saying this without like offending somebody? Because yeah, everybody's offended nowadays, but it doesn't even matter if you get offended. We live in a society nowadays. This is how I can kind of phrase it or frame it, if you will, if I'm allowed to do that. We live in a society nowadays where we don't even know the difference between a man and a woman. We don't know up from down. We don't know left from right. We don't know the east from the west, and we don't know the north from the south. And I hope I'm here to kind of make sure that that changes. So I work with like Coach Mike. What is it that you do? This is not this isn't like a an episode of. We're gonna have Sherry Strong's coming on in a couple of days. We're gonna talk about nutrition. We're gonna talk about food. We're gonna talk about, I don't know, all the different angles we're gonna go on that, but she's a food specialist, and food's very important for what we put in our mouths and in our bodies, because just like a high-end sports car like a Lamborghini, or what other ones, in Austin Martin, or what else is there, a Bentley, these cars that cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to put the correct fluids and the correct fuel in the fuel tank in order to make the vehicles operate at the highest possible level that they were made to operate, just as us as human beings are supposed to put the correct fuel into our eyes, into our ears, into our five senses, and most notably inside our mouth for the nutrition that we need to make our bodies, our minds, our hearts, and our souls operate at optimum levels. However, I don't know what's happened, but I kind of know what's happened in today's society. Something else has taken over. Where if you drive down the street or you look inside a grocery store, the majority of the stuff inside the grocery store isn't optimum for the human being to operate at the highest possible level that we have the ability to do so. If you're following me, if you're tracking with me. So what is optimum for us to put into our mouths, into our eyes, into our ears, and into our mind? So I follow the Bible is my book. You can follow whatever book that you want to follow, but the Bible is my book and Jesus is my guy. That's who I follow. You can follow, you're welcome to follow whoever you want, but that's who I follow. And God made food for a reason. It's natural. He made the fruits, he made the vegetables, and he made the animals for us to consume naturally. He didn't add a bunch of chemicals to them, even though they were made a certain way. Like each seed that you plant will reproduce in and of itself the same thing. So an apple seed will produce apples, an orange seed will produce oranges, potato seed will produce potatoes, and an onion seed will produce onions. It doesn't make something different. Doesn't make something different. Just as we were created as male and female, we have certain parts of our anatomy of our body that are used in certain ways to create another human being, another male or another female. And again, there's deviations and mutations from the norm of all of this, because that originated way back when sin was brought into the world. So again, what I don't know if you guys are tracking or you're following me here, but what do I do? I work with athletes, elite athletes. I prefer to work with people that are at higher levels, and I can work with people at lower levels, and I've worked with people at lower levels, but it starts here. You have to believe. You don't have to believe, of course, but it is most beneficial if you believe that you are here for a higher purpose. And that's the purpose of the whole entire thing. Like, some people don't even think about this. Some people think about it, some people don't. What is your purpose here on earth? To become the best possible human being. When the disciples asked Jesus the two foremost commandments out of all the commandments and all the laws and all the stuff that they were given to follow, to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with everything you got, with all your strength, to love God with everything. I mean, we're not going to get into exactly what that means, but I hope you know what it means. So to love God with everything you got. And then there was one complementary commandment that goes along with that one. You have to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So you have first love God, love your neighbor, love yourself. So there's 3 in 1 there. So if you do not love God, you won't be able to love your neighbor and you won't be able to love yourself. The first one is loving God. And if you don't love God, you won't be able to love yourself. You won't be able to love your neighbor. So what does it mean to love God? Well, the Bible says again to follow his commandments. If you don't follow the commandments and you're living in sin, again, I know you guys don't like to hear this because the majority of you are living in sin, and myself included. However, I continue to work on myself on a regular basis to become the best possible human being that I can, but I fall short just like you guys fall short. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. God knows your heart. God knows your motives. God knows your intentions. So if you're following the right way to do things on a regular basis, then you might be good, or you might not be good, or you might be good, or you might not be good, or you might be good. And we live in the world for maybe 100 years. We're lucky 70, 80, 90, 100 years. Some people live 5 years, 10 years. Everything's different, right? Whenever our ticket gets punched or our ticket gets pulled and we're done from this world, that's it. We don't know. But Jesus tells us to build a relationship with him. And if we do not build a relationship with him, then we go to a place where most people don't want to go. So that would be maybe an insurance policy to make sure that you do that. The Bible says that you make sure you do that. And North America was built on Christian principles. And there might be a reason as to why the majority of the people wanted to move to North America, the United States of America and Canada. That's why I'm wearing the poppy and I'm wearing this Canadian hockey jersey tonight. Because we used to be a great nation. I still believe we're a great nation, but when you have leadership that is less than stellar, that is not really looking to strengthen the country as an entire whole, because there is a certain way to do that, I believe. I've run for council 4 times, and each time, because as I was telling this on the weekend to some of my friends, that when I implement something, it's just not for my best interests. Yes, I'm going to benefit from it. Anything that I do, I want to benefit from it for sure. However, it's just not me that's benefiting from it. It is everybody else that is involved will also be benefiting from the decisions that I make, because it just can't benefit me. It has to benefit all other parties involved, because that's what you do when you make decisions. That's what I believe that you should do when you make decisions. But that isn't what is necessarily going on, because most people have their best self-interests. They're very selfish and greedy, and that happens out there, and that's the way it goes. So it's good to self-examine to see if the decisions that are made are in the best interests of all the different parties that are involved. And it's almost impossible to please everyone, because everybody has their opinion, their own opinion, in which they are entitled to, and that's fine. No bother with that. And I hope we still get to have our opinions, but if I could see the way things are going, and I think you guys see the way things are going, we may not have the ability to have an opinion soon, or our freedoms or anything like that. There's a lot of different things that are coming down the pipeline quicker than we could have imagined. We got our artificial intelligence, we have our robotics going on. So there's a whole bunch of different things that are going to be streaming down the pipeline here, whether you like it or not. So what do I do? The Life After Sport Playbook. What exactly is that? So attention, all athletes out there, retired or still active. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter what sport you play. Doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. I'll work with you I first have to qualify you to see if you're actually somebody that I have the ability to work with. And then I have to see if you have money to be able to pay for the services that I will be rendering to you over a given period of time. Because if you don't have any money, I give a lot of stuff away for free. And I'll work with you for free for a little bit of time. But if you want to totally transform your life, you got to pay for it. You can't go to the body shop and expect them to fix your car and get all those parts and services for free. You can't go to the grocery store and buy all your groceries for free. You can't go to a lawyer and expect them to do all the services that they provide you with for free. So, but I will work for free for a little bit for you, and I'll give you a lot of value and I'll give you a lot of content because that's what I do. And I'll help you out as much as I possibly can because that's what I do. I've been doing that for since the beginning of time, and I'll continue to do that. But if you are someone of integrity and value and character and ethics, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of somebody for that period of time without say I have to pay you something because you've added so much value to my life, which is okay. And then we go into mindset. The Life After Sport Playbook is all encompassing. So I explained this today on a call I was on. What exactly is it you do? I can't remember. Life After Sport Playbook. You're an athlete. You were in the Hall of Fame. You won 3 national championships. You worked with NFL Super Bowl champs and CFL Grey Cup champs and NHL Stanley Cup champs, and the list goes on and on. So, what is it do you do again? Life After Sport Playbook. What is that? So it's all encompassing. So I'd have to do a life audit with you first as an athlete to see where you're at, to see where your pain points are. Because everybody, the major pain points are usually relationships and money, and that stems and health. Relationships, money, and health. Those are usually the main 3 pain points: relationships, money, and health. And you branch down to those. You can niche down. You can dive down deep into all those different ones. And then but it all stems from here. If your mind isn't working correctly, and we have a mental health crisis on our hands, and we wonder why, because not everyone's doing drugs, but we have a drug epidemic on our hands. We have a mental health epidemic on our hands. We have drugs and alcohol, and people don't know, again, up from down, left or right, east from west, north from south. It's kind of like a little confusing out there, but it should be pretty simple, shouldn't it? If you program your mind with the correct information, but again, it's not your fault. It's not your fault because you don't know this. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So I'm telling you it's not your fault in the fact that it's not your fault because the system is set up to conspire against you. However, if you realize this, you can deprogram yourself from the system. If you've seen the movie The Matrix, where Morpheus gives Neo the opportunity to take the red pill or the blue pill. Again, I can't remember which pill puts you back into the system and which pill opens you right up to get yourself out of the system. But what I wish for you is for you to get out of the system because the system is basically a program. The system is basically a program, and getting yourself out of the system is the deprogram. Then you get to reprogram what's really going on. So I'm here to invite you to give you, I can't remember if it's the red pill or the blue pill. I'm here to give you the pill. And sometimes you have to mix them together. So maybe it's the purple pill. Maybe it's the purple pill because you got to operate within the system, but you still got to be out of the system. But you got to operate within the system, and you still got to be out of the system because the system still exists. So I'm here to give you the purple pill, where if you're in a job or a career, or you're in a relationship, or if you're in a situation where your money's not working the way it should be, there's always a different way that can help you out. And I've researched a bunch of these ways, and I'm still learning, but my purpose is to make your life better. How do I go about doing that? Again, I start with a life audit to see where you are, to see where your pain points are. And again, the 3 major pain points are always money, wealth, relationships, intimate, coworkers, teammates, friends. Intimate's the most painful one. And then your health, your body, your physicality. You're not all there. So those 3 pay points, and then we narrow down one, and we work through the whole kit and caboodle over a long period of time. I like having my clients for at least a year, if not 2, 3. But we can, and my goal is to not need me anymore, so I can get you out on your own, so you can program your brain the correct way. Because it's program, Coach Mike. How do I program my brain the right way? How do I go about doing that? You got to read the right books. Books like Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, How to Put Yourself Among Men, like all these books back here. The Bible, Expert Secrets, Time Management, As a Man Thinketh, all these guys back. Books that are gonna like make your mind better. You listen to good audio on YouTube or Spotify or whatever podcasting system that you use. Listen to good audio tapes to kind of put the good nutrition into your mind. Read good books, listen to good audios, watch good videos, hang out in good environments, think good thoughts, have good self-talk, use good use good visualization techniques, all this type of stuff. Pray, meditate, go to the gym, lift weights, exercise, breathing techniques, stretching techniques, all the stuff that's going to put yourself in a good state. Have a high-end money blueprint. You're not just worth $10 an hour, $20 an hour, $30 an hour, $50. You are worth like as much as you want to charge. You're worth like thousands of dollars an hour, 10 grand an hour, 20 grand an hour, 30 grand an hour. You're worth that because you have expertise and you are a child of the Most High God. But the system, Morpheus said this, the system or the matrix is set up so that you're going to be poor, broke, fat, and dumb. If you haven't figured that out by now, the system is set up. The education system, the healthcare system, the whole entire system, the food system, the government system, it's all set up to make you poor, broke, fat, and dumb. If you haven't figured that out yet, that's what it's. So you have to get yourself out of that system somehow. Weed yourself out of it. And first you have to wake yourself up, and you have to ask yourself the questions. If you ask yourself the questions, who am I? Go look in the mirror. Naked is the best way to go about doing it, because then you're totally naked and you're like, whoa, I'm naked and I'm in front of the mirror and I'm looking in my own eyes and I'm asking myself questions that I may not necessarily know the answers to. However, if I ask myself these questions and I try to answer the questions that I'm asking myself, and I'm naked in front of the mirror, I'm like, I might have to answer the question, and I might have to get real with myself, and I might have to get honest with myself to see what I'm actually really doing here. So again, what do I do as Coach Mike, aka MDM, or Mike Moore, or Mike D. Moore with MDM Architects at the Life After Sport Playbook here on the MDM Show? My goal, first and foremost, is to help you create a life that you will love to live. So you can design your own life. You can customize your own life. You can create your own life. Whether you believe it or not, that's what you've done so far in your life, just on autopilot, by the thoughts that you've thought, the actions that you take, the words that you said, the environments you've hang around. You have created your life right up until now, whether you believe that or not. You might have not have done it consciously, and most people have not done it consciously. But if you do it consciously, then you can make your decisions consciously and take actions that are going to be aligned with the goals that you write down, that you set for yourself. And this is, now we're moving into the Life After Sport Playbook. So when you consciously create and design a life that's worth living and that you will love to live for you, you write down all the actions that you need to take on a regular basis, daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis, decade basis, all the actions that you need to take in all the different areas of life. I know this could seem a little bit overwhelming, but we start with one at a time. I have the goal setting blueprint of how you do it with one goal at a time. And then all these actions that you take are directly in alignment with the goals that you set for yourself. And then once you achieve the goal, and it's got a timeline on it, And then first of all, you have to be able to like know all the roadblocks and the potholes and the things that are going to stop you from taking the actions that are going to be in line with achieving the goals. Once you figure out what all the roadblocks, and you're going to come up with the solutions that are going to make you overcome all the roadblocks, and then you can go full bore on taking the direct actions that are directly correlated in the alignment of you achieving your goals. And then you knock them down one at a time, and you just keep rocking and rolling with your mindset, with your emotional intelligence, with your spirituality, with your finances, with your body, with your career, with your education, with your relationships, with your recreational activities, with your money, with your finances, all this type of stuff. Because these are all the major things that you have to deal with in life. And then you figure out what your major pain points are, and you just keep going, and you keep rocking, and you keep rolling. That's basically what it is. That's all it is. So we pick just one thing at a time because it sounds so overwhelming, but you're dealing with all these things anyway on a regular basis every single day, because this is what you're geared towards. So, athletes, I'm here to help you out no matter what, because you as an elite athlete, you're usually just focused on your sport. And then you neglect your relationships. You might not know how to deal with your money. You might not know how to deal with business. You might not know how to deal with what career you want to do after you're done sport. So again, that's why we do the whole encompassing thing. I work with the athletes once they're done their sport, so I can give you the schools, the skills and abilities and the tools to be able to do it for yourself. And then we go back, circle right around, because we need to help the youth out in the high schools, the colleges, and the universities, and give the youth the skills, the tools, and the abilities, and the communication, and the know-how to start this a lot earlier on in their life, because we weren't given all of this stuff. And then that makes a smooth transition from all the athletes when they're in high school, when they're in college, when they're at university, when they're going through the amateur ranks, when they're going through the pro ranks, when they're going through the Olympic ranks, all the way through. They can learn it and keep it in the forefront of their mind while they're doing that. As in with the Life After Sport Playbook, the whole mantra is that begin each action item with your most desired results in the forefront of your mind each and every day, so that it's always here. Doesn't matter what it is. You have to believe and think about your most ideal relationship, your most ideal amount of money you want to make, your most ideal net worth, your most ideal cash flow, your most ideal career, your most ideal fill in the blank. And you do that with your sport too. And then the actions that are associated with your sport that you have to take to be the best player. In hockey, you might want to have the best shot. You might want to have the best back check. You might want to be the best goalie. You might want to be the best deker or dangler, whatever it may be. And then you have to take the actions that are going to coincide with you developing the skills and abilities to be able to do that. In football, if you're a quarterback, you might want to be able to read the defense, the defensive line, the linebackers, the DBs, the safety, and then you have to know what your receivers are doing. So you got to slow all that down. So you got to be able to have an education for the game. If you're in golf, if you're in basketball, in volleyball, you have to have an education mindset of the game, and then you have to know your position really well, and you have to know the position of the other people that you're playing with and against to be able to make sure that you know how the whole entire thing is put together as one big puzzle piece that's actually moving, if that makes any sense. This is like insane. So this is what I do. I put all this stuff together for you. I talk to you, and then we like go deep into one area, which is your highest pain point. Again, it could be in your relationships, it could be in your money, it could be in your health, it could be in your body, it could be in your mind, wherever it starts. Everything starts in the mind, though. I like to start in the mind, because if you don't have the right mindset, you don't have the right self-talk, you don't have the right attitude, we have to fix that first. And you can usually tell by talking to somebody for 1 minute or 5 minutes what they dwell upon the most. Why am I laughing? Because I've talked to so many people, and this is like, well, I can't help you. I'd love to be able to help you, but I can't. And I used to be able to think I can help everybody. It was like, no, until you're ready. And a lot of people are never going to be ready, which is unfortunate, which is totally unfortunate, because I used to be able to think there's 8 billion people on earth. I can help every one of them. And especially if they're athletes. But you want to know what? What I figured out, that most people don't want to be helped. They love living in chaos. They love living, and I never understood this. I never understood how people, but again, I don't think it's your fault. I don't think it's your fault, because you were told a lie. You were told a lie, and then you were programmed the wrong way, and then you're too far gone now, and it's not your fault. It's definitely not your fault because you weren't coached the right way, you weren't parented the right way, so it's not your fault. It's not your fault. So if I can get across to you one way or another that it is not your fault and there is a better way, if you're going through hell, there is always a better way. Somebody loves you and somebody cares about you. I know God loves you. I know Jesus loves you. That may or may not mean anything to you right now, but there is someone who loves you out there that cares about you, that wants you to be a better human being, no matter where you are in your life. People will care about you. They might not even know you, and they'll give you money. They'll give you food. They'll give you clothing. They'll give you shelter. That's what we do. That's what we do. It might come across a little harsh that we only want to deal with people that have money, but at the end of the day, we want to help the people that are less fortunate because it's not your fault that you are where you are. You can get out of it if you choose to do so. And some people come from different places in life, obviously, and different geographical locations that aren't the best that's going on right now. But we have to work together. We work together as a team to help each other out in all the areas of life. This just basic necessities. All people on the planet should be able to have clean drinking water to drink. All the people on the planet should be able to have shelter over their head. All the people on the planet should be able to have clothes on their back. All the people on their planet should be able to have education. All the people on the planet should be able to have good food to eat. So all these basic necessities, all the people on the planet should feel love and cared for. All the basic needs of all the human beings on the planet should be should be cared for and should be able to do that. But it doesn't look like we're going to achieve that anytime soon. Maybe we will. Maybe I'm a little bit too pessimistic. I like to think I'm an eternal idealist and optimist, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out here. So again, I'm Coach Mike. This is the MDM Show. I love you guys. God bless you guys. If there are any athletes out there who want to level up your life wherever you're at right now, let's hook up. I'll give you a life or a business audit. No problem doing that. And then we'll see what your pain points are, and then we'll knock them down one at a time. But again, you got to write it down. You got to put it in your mind. You have to talk about it. You have to think about it. You got to visualize it. You got to believe it. You got to think that you can achieve it and conceive. First, you can conceive it that if you guys want to win championships, like the Rams, the Regina Rams and the Regina Thunder, it's like I'd like to work with. If you guys work with me, I can almost guarantee you a championship. If I work with all your players, because I would program their mind when you get into circumstances during the course, both you guys were up, but I think you got scared when you're up. It's like, you have to keep pressing. You have to keep the killer instinct mindset. When we're up, 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, you can't get into a defensive shell. You have to keep pressing to eliminate their will to play. If you let them back in the game because you're going to let off, we're up now. It's like, and then you get scared. Well, they get scared a touchdown on us. It's like, oh, here we go again. We're going to lose. No, you keep pressuring them. You have to have that killer instinct and that winning mindset that is embedded in if all your players have that, you'll win. Look at the Saskatoon Hilltops. Look at the Saskatoon Hilltops. They've won 24, I think it's been 24 championships. They dominate the junior league. Like, come on. There's no better junior football program than the Saskatoon Hilltops out there. Is it? We were, but then we moved that to university, and now the Thunder's taken that over. Scott McCauley's doing a good job, but he could do a lot better, of course. And then we got Mark McConkey with the Regina Rams doing a good job, but they haven't won a championship. The Thunder, I think they've won 1 championship out of how many seasons? 20 plus seasons. Like, then you got the Riders. The Riders are in the championship game this year, which is good. But it's like it all starts here. And you got to get the players to think the right way. Think winning, think domination. And then you all have to love each other. If you all love and care for each other and you use that and develop your skills and abilities, that's what true relationships are. And then whether it's an intimate relationship or friendships or teammates in a team or coworkers, that's the culture that you're looking to immerse yourself in, like the Blue Jays were. even though they didn't win, they had a culture where everybody cared for each other. They loved hanging out with each other. They loved each other. They all had different skills and abilities. And that's the culture that you're looking to have. And it's like, just keep getting better. But you have to have that killer instinct that you're going to win, 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 win. And that's what it is. You're just going to win. There's no way you should be on the field thinking that you're ever going to lose. Doing the best that you possibly can every day, knowing that you're not going to be 100% every day and you're going to fail here and there, but that's not what you're thinking. So again, guys, if you want to level up, I'm your guy. Done this my whole entire life. Been working with every type of person under the sun, and I'd love to work with you. How do you get a hold of me? How do you get a hold of me? Mike, I want to work with you. I got some issues with my life. I'm going through a divorce. I went through a divorce. I'm having money problems. I've had money problems. I'm going through mental anxiety and stress and whatnot. Yeah, I've had that too. I've gone through. I don't know what I believe spiritually. I've gone through that too. Are you guys are you getting this? Are you resonating this? Or tracking with all this? Yeah. I don't know what I do want to do for my career. Yeah, I've had that too. It's like I don't feel like I belong to. Yeah, I've had that too. And then I've had unbelievable successes. Successes way beyond belief that I've worked myself into, and I've worked with others to be able to accomplish that. So again, I'm your guy. I don't believe there's anybody better than me out there, but that's up for debate. You can test me on that. Doesn't matter to me. Test me on that. It's okay. And there's things that I don't know for sure. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you, but I'll find the answer for you. That's no problem. So again, get a hold of me somehow. You can send me a DM here on, this is Facebook. You can send me a text. If you got my phone number, you can find my phone number. You can find my email down here. If you go to growrichlife.com, we got a free book giveaway there with my affiliate links with Russell Brunson with Think and Grow Rich. That's insane amount for value that you can get with that. Again, here's my email, mdm.canada.group@gmail.com. You can get a hold of me there. Send me a little qualifying message so we can set up a Zoom meeting and we can have a little discussion to see if you're actually able to. And then I'll give you at least the 3-day to 5-day or 7-day tiny challenge, and I'll work with you I'll give it away for free just because I want you guys to actually get something out of it. And then we can see if you want to get into the paid program after that. That's fine. No idea. Maybe you have an idea, maybe you don't. But I'll see if you're worth the 3-day, the 5-day, or 7-day challenge program. So I'll give you a whole bunch of information for free, which is valued at $3,000 to $5,000, just because why not? Give you guys the value, and then you can decide. I know a lot of you guys I just want to get something for free, but again, if you just keep getting free stuff, there is no free lunch. You reap what you sow. So whatever seeds that you reap, those are the ones you're going to sow. Whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap. That's what you're going to reap. So if you just keep on looking for stuff, get, you got to be able to give back. You got to be able to give back. If you're not giving, you got to know how to give. You got to know how to receive. You got to know how to give. You got to know how to receive. It goes both ways. And then it's just a continuous process. That's it. So I love you guys. God bless you guys. This is about 33 minutes in. I'm Coach Mike from the EMDEM Show with EMDEM Life Architects. We put together your whole entire life for you. We help you, but you got to do the work. I can only guide you and direct you and show you what to do, and I'll work with you to be able to do that. How have I been able to do this? Because I've been doing it my whole entire life in all different areas of life. Read 300-400 books. In the Hall of Fame, I won 3 national championships. I've worked with guys in the NFL, Super Bowl champions, work guys from CFL, Grey Cup champions, work with guys in the NHL, Stanley Cup champions, and so on and so forth. Business owners, individuals, athletes. I've worked in like 12, 15 different industries, doing all the different jobs. It's like insane. I've had a bunch of different businesses. So it's like I have a little bit of experience under my belt. Again, test me on that. You don't have to believe me if you don't want to. Let's rock. Let's roll. Again, I'm niching this down just to athletes, high-level elite athletes. Doesn't matter what sport you play, because it's the most fun for me to be able to deal with athletes, because I love athletes because I'm one myself, and they're a total different breed of person, athletes, male or female. It's like sweet. So again, I'm done here. Get a hold of me somehow. Doesn't matter how you do that. Coaches, if you have sports teams, what you actually do if you're a coach, if you're in football, if you're in hockey, if you're in baseball, if you're in soccer, if you're in golf, doesn't matter what it is, get me in front of your team. And if you want to win a championship, and if you truly want to develop good young men and women that are going to go out into society and be contributors, positive contributors into society. You probably want to get them in front of me for as many possible times as you can. How do we go about doing that? If I'm in your area, I'll come out to your facility, or we'll book a group Zoom meeting, and I'll show you guys what I can do for you and with you, and then we can work one on one or in group settings, depending on how many of your players want to get into developing better lives inside their sport and outside their sport, because they're going to have to do that. And I'll show them how to do that, and I'll give them the resources to do that. I'll give them the tools to do that, and they can work for me, work with me, and they can work for me because they're going to need some other coaches. They're going to have to get certification. The MDM certifications are coming too. So if you want to be MDM certified as a sports guy or gal to be able to coach other athletes, we're going to have the MDM certification process too. So you can coach other athletes, males and females, which is going to be super cool as well. So there's lots of stuff. I mean, a whole bunch of ridiculous amount of things that are going on right now, but I love it because that's the way it is. And why not? Life, you only get one life, right? Contribute back as much as you possibly can. I love helping people. Been helping people my whole entire life because that's my jam. That's my gig. That's what I do. I got to help myself in order to help other people out. So yeah, I got to make sure my mind's in the right spot. I got to make sure my emotions are in the right spot. I got to make sure my connection with God's in the right spot. I got to make sure my relationships are in the right spot. I got to keep on building and growing my money. I got to keep on growing and building my career. Got to know all the technology. So what I learned, I'll pass back on to you guys and gals, and I absolutely love it. So again, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching this from, whenever you're going to be watching it, because there's going to be a replay too. If you're not watching it live, you're going to be watching the replay. And then share this, like this, love this, hate this. It doesn't matter. You're entitled to your own opinion. If you hate this, that's okay. If you love this, that's okay. You can do a thumbs down. Oh, that Coach Mike, he's a fucking idiot. He sucks. He's like, he shouldn't even be out there. It doesn't even matter. You can say that whatever you want. Or you say, oh, that Coach Mike, he's the best person ever. It's like, I wish I would have talked to him like a long time. Say whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. I've taken it all, and I'll continue to take it all. It doesn't even really matter. So again, I love you guys. God bless you guys, and get a hold of me somehow. I ain't hard to find. But I can guarantee you this. If you work with me, and you allow me to coach you and guide you and direct you and give you the knowledge and wisdom that I've received from others and up above, then I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that you will level up your life in good time, because that's just the way it is. If you don't do the things that are associated with leveling up your life, then you're just going to go back. You're either like getting better or you're getting worse. So let's make sure you're getting better. And the earlier you start all this stuff, the better. Quit putting it off to mañana. Quit putting it off. I know it's easy to put it off. I've done it before. I've made all the mistakes before, so I can help you through all the landmines and the bombs and the roadblocks and the potholes. I can help you through all that, so you don't have to go through the pain that's associated with hitting all that. So I did it for you, which wasn't a good time. Pain's not a good time, so you try to avoid pain and go towards pleasure, but some pains are good. The short-term pain for the long-term pain, like it's like going to the gym or things that you have to correct patterns on. There's short-term pain for long-term gain, then there's short-term pleasure for long-term pain. And we got to know the difference between those. That's the patterns that we created. But we're not going to get in those tonight. So again, I've said it before. I love you guys and gals. God bless you guys and gals. And I got to continue on here for the night. We're 38 minutes in, almost 40 minutes in. See you guys. And yeah, get a hold of me somehow. Send me an email, mdm.canadagroup@gmail.com, or go to Grow Rich Life. You have to put your name in, your email. You'll get sent to another page where you have 3 free books. You have to pay for shipping on that. I think it's in US dollars as well. So all my US friends, that's in your currency, Canadian friends, you're going to take a little bit of hit from the shipping on that, which is foreign exchange, which is fine. But the amount of value you'll get from the 3 free books that you get is nuts and insane. If you guys are worried about losing money, I've already lost like over 500 grand myself, and I'm still doing pretty good. So don't think about losing money. Thinking about, that's the scarcity mentality and the fear mentality. You have to think about how much value you're going to get from it and how much money you will have the ability to make from the value that you achieve. That's mindset stuff. And you can always turn your mind around. No matter how far gone you've been, you can always turn it around. I've done it. I've been to the lowest of the lows and the peaks of the peaks. So just keep climbing. Try not to get too high. Try not to get too low. Just keep climbing, keep climbing, keep climbing, and keep that positive attitude, positive mental attitude. Always go the extra mile. Always do more than it's asked of you. And you start doing these things. Napoleon Hill gives you the 17 principles. That's in those free books. If you go to growrichlife.com, the 17 principles are in that book. Those books, the 17 principles that you must have to live an extraordinary life. If you don't have those, and it gives you all the scarcity, it gives you all the fears, it gives you all the things that are it gives you all the stuff. All the information's in there. If you get those, it's like it's priceless for you. Again, I can't convince you to get it. I can only show you the path, but you have to go down it. Robert Frost said, "The road less traveled by is the one you're supposed to take, because wide is the way that." That's kind of biblical and Robert Frost at the same time. The road less traveled, and wide is the gate that leads to destruction. 2 in 1, biblical and Robert Frost. Thank you, guys. Again, I'm out of here. Keep on rambling on, but come on, quit it. Let's have a quick thing of water here. That's it. I'm done. I got a whole bunch. If you only saw, I've got like so much to do. It's like ridiculous. That's fine. Pick one thing at a time and keep getting it done. See you guys. It's fun. We'll see you later. Going to end the stream here. Cut it. Well, you cut it. Yeah, I'm trying to. Take it easy. Take it easy, man. Always remember all the people that fought for our freedom. Make sure you guys fight for our freedom too, because they're trying to take away our freedom, and don't let them do it. Just watch what's going to be coming happen here the next year. They're going to come up with another Black Swan event that's going to be happening soon in 2026, 2027. It's for sure coming very soon. Another Black Swan event. So get prepared for it. Get ready for it. And build your clan, build your tribe, build your finances, build good relationships with good people. You don't need to be in relationships with idiotic people, moronic people, idiots. You don't need them in your life. Let them go. And see you later.